What's up, guys?
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Can you kind of explain the ending there a little bit?
Well, I thought at the end, because we weren't playing for anything. So it wasn't like, we can spread out a little bit now. I'll talk loud. We good here? I didn't want to score. I wanted the field goal kickers to see could they make a kick, because there's no consequences. We were keeping score. We were playing field position. We were just, fair catching kicks or whatever. But at the end, as I looked at it, I said, hey, if it had been a game, that touchdown would have been good. But it was nice to, okay, we got two good kickers and they both kicked. Okay, if called upon, can you make it now? And so as I looked at the score, I go, why not? And we were going overtime. We wanted to go 110 plays, we went about 130, so we got plenty of work and it was fun. But I just thought it was a chance to get the kickers to be a part of that as it ended up there, to feel that, I don't want to say pressure, but when you're called upon, make a play.
The competitiveness and interesting decision of Nate to try to tackle Darius Layton, was that...
Yeah, well, he as a player now, I mean, he's a good player, he's competitive, and he said he was waiting on my whistle, and I had all his microphones, they got tied up and I couldn't get it there, so he needs to be smarter, but you can tell by the way he played, we said he's been reasonably full go, and he is, and quarterbacks don't get tackled and hit in spring anyway, so he's had no limitations, a little bit of weight room modification, but he's our guy, and not a big quarterback, he's our team guy, he's our leader, he's embraced that, and he's been really good across the board.
Coach, the physicality today, there are a few big hits, and in practice, has that been a step up from previous years? Or?
Yeah, well, until we play, but I think it's a little bit of the recruiting, the weight room development. The stronger you get, the bigger your body, the more self-esteem, you have more self-confidence you have, the faster you play, and it's good to see. It's young guys growing up. It's good to see, and at the same time, the tough thing in our sport, next Thursday night we'll pop those pads, and then you're lifting and running. You have to recreate that as you get back in next August going to September. But you got to practice smart. We try not to get in the legs, and you got to protect your guys. And we're doing a lot with neck and shoulders to be strong for concussions and neck and head related injuries, and to keep the head out of the game. But you got to be physical to be a good Big Ten East team, and we're trying to embrace and work on that.
Is that more comfortable in the defense where players are now?
I'm sure, and I will say this: we've tried very hard to really quit coaching schemes and coach playing hard in culture, and don't go to hey, well, if we're getting beat, put in a new defense. No, let's do this one and get better at it. Let's run this play. We didn't run a lot of plays today, and one reason wasn't to vanilla it up and dumb it down. It was really just get those guys out there in the field playing hard. We're a long way away. With summer rules now and 7-on-7, you can always work on your passing, but the blocking and tackling and toughest part, we tried to emphasize that in a proper way, and I think it's been good by our kids.
I thought Ricky Brookins unofficially had him for 13 carries for 105 today. Talk about the walk-on running backs, what they've shown this spring and then today.
Well, they're doing good, but I do think it's a credit to we're developing a pretty good line. And the second team line, although we got a couple guys, where Jake Bailey and Ralston Evans coming off at knees, and we're not over practicing, they're not getting much teamwork, nothing really. So if you throw them in the mix, you put our signees coming in, the tight end position's gotten better, so the blocking's good. Now, A-Rod's been good, Ricky Brookins has been good, Alex Rodriguez, Andrew Wilson's always been solid, and Divine's been good, and Jordan Howard's looking very good until he hyperextended the elbow. So that'll be a good group, and we'll add a little Devontae with his little speed in here. And but the best thing that group has got going, Dylan's a great coach. There's competition. There's good players, but we're finally getting where we can. But I will say this: 2 years ago, you don't throw for 300 and run for 200 if you can't block. And last year, when you have 6 games where you're throwing for 11 and 24 and 69 yards passing, and you're still running, you got some blocking. So most people don't watch our games, but those guys, those 5 guys and those tight ends are pretty good for this league. They're good. They're a good football group.
So Dimitri Cambiel pulling out as a guard, helping lead a sweep for Feeney today too. The kid that size moving like that looks okay.
Well, he's a 4th-year kid too. So that physicality, I'm mature. You got Wes Rogers as a 4th-year guy. Jake Reed is a 5th-year guy, and some of those guys are working second. They'll all play, but they're kind of on the 2, so that helps those walk-on running backs look good. And I do think our D-line and D-front's better. So it ain't like we're going against what I think is the defense that hadn't got better up front, but the line play and the tight end play is the best since we've been here.
The Corsaro went off today. Is there any update on that? What happened?
Yeah,
with him?
he's always had like a loose shoulder. I don't know if he popped out or had a stinger, so I don't think it's bad, but we'll see. I haven't seen it. Anything else? You guys ain't got no questions? What the heck?
We asked about
Did you see my Twitter? Did you see my putter was hot the other day? 3 birdies, man. I was like,
Hey,
boom.
what about Latham?
And these Saturdays and Sundays practices are killing my golf game, man.
Jordan Spieth's got nothing on you. Is that what you said?
Oh, he got
He
a
had
little
a
something.
62 yesterday.
He got a little something.
What about the Latham's interception in terms of the one hand, the athleticism?
He's a great athlete, and he's 295, 98. He's lost weight. He's getting in shape, and as talented as he is, he's still coming into his own as a player. He's having a good spring. There's a lot of upside for him to keep coming, so that's good to see.
It seems like Ricky Jones had a pretty good day today, but how important is it for some of these receivers to really assert themselves now when you look at some of the guys that are coming in this summer?
Well, very, very, very much. And Ricky is our elder statesman as a junior. He's a 4th-year player, which is technically a senior.
Yeah.
But for him to really have a good spring, compete, be consistent, be rewarded a little bit today, continue to lead that group. Simi's gotten better, Jay Sean's gotten better, Isaac's kind of back to normal. The tight end group's helping them. And when the signees come in, Don Booth's been consistent. I mean, it's a solid group. We're going to play 6, 7, 8, but I wouldn't be surprised if a freshman or two or the JC kid gets in the mix when they get here, if they get here, when they get here.
Did
Coach,
Danny
what do you
Cameron?
think of any initial thoughts to like the trying of the new format for this game?
The what?
The format, the new format you guys tried out for this game, different from the past couple springs.
Well, we backed up. Only thing we did, this is the weekend to do this for our fans. It's before Little 500 weekend. So this is the weekend, have our crowd involvement. But we backed up our lifting. We wanted to lift one more week before spring break. We started spring ball. Now, we got 3. Today, this was just practice 12. That's why we started. And I thought it would be good for fans to see some drills. But to me, it was practice 12. And this is what would have been done if you guys were here or not. We just put the scoreboard on and was it a touchdown. But it was a normal scrimmage. A good go. We're going to go light tomorrow, a good go Tuesday, and then Thursday night, we're going to get started at 6. And what I think we're going to do, because we're going to have for fraternity sororities, it's open to the public, another good atmosphere, music going, things in the end zone, won't be all the activities. I think you got food, beverage. We're going to do some interaction with their team. Hey, you think you can kick a field goal or catch a punt? Well, here it is. Come do it. You want to, just have a little comp and have our team. I think we got the other teams coming. I don't know for sure. When I talked to Coach Crean a week ago, he thought it'd be good to get the basketball guys. Not that they're coming. I don't know. Just talking today, our swimming coach. So we're going to try to get a lot of the athletes here, get our team 6 to 7 mixing. Because unfortunately, I got some guys got classes till 7. And then we're going to start about 7. So we'll have our real game next week, but it'll be shorter than this.
You don't have to decide by September 5th, but Danny Cameron played well enough to challenge the number 2 quarterback to allow you to redshirt Xander?
Very much, and even Xander could be 2. But if 2 is just mop-up duty, you'd go with Danny to get that year back. And if Xander's 2, and all of a sudden you need him, he plays. But if you stay healthy and the game's over, hey, Danny, we've already used your year, so you always have that option to do that. So going into the year, Xander will compete to be the 1. If he's the 2, we'll be very cautious early because he has played, so you know, like he needs to feel game experience. He's played in the shoe, he's played in the big house, he's been chased around by good teams, he knows the pressure, he's played in big games. So we don't need to get him used to the environment. So if Xander's 2, to get his years back would be what we do, but I don't control that. And if week 11, all of a sudden we needed him, I'm sorry, it's a 3-week run, baby. We need you, we're gonna run it out, let's go.
Coach, as a leader and a player, how high is the ceiling for a kid like Jason Spriggs?
His talent level is real high, and as a leader, he and Dan Feeney are the guys that stroke that line and get him going. But his skill set is as talented as any lineman I've coached, and a couple of them were high picks. So we'll see if he played because you don't go high play a position by combines. You go by consistent play because they're going to pay that quarterback $120 million. So you better be able to block too. It's nice you can jump, it's nice you can run fast, but you better be a performer. My challenge to him is for him to prepare and perform up to his skill set because it's a high skill set. And he's a very good player. We need him to be a great one.
Coach, the fans didn't get a chance to see a couple of transfer guys, Hawkins and Howard.
We shouldn't have brought him in. We should have waited.
Yeah. Can you talk about how they fit in, though, with the offense?
Big receiver is looking good. He'll be cleared in about a week with the cast off, 2 weeks. Marquis will be fine. Jordan's looking really good. Very talented. would be a 1-2 punch with he and Divine right now. Unless he regressed by missing what it has been now, it will be 10 practices. He got 5 in. Unless he regresses, he'll very much, whether he's the, I don't know if anybody's the guy, like last year, we played 2. The year before that, we were going to play 2 or 3. And I would say right now, Divine, I'd say all of them in the mix, but we're going to have 2 or 3 out there every week playing.
Thank you.
You guys good?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. See you next week.